Welcome back to the coverage of the European Championship 2019, the largest European Championship of all time, and we're now in the top 16. It's this match, next match, you're in the World Championship. This is what it's all about. We got two players from countries. One of them we featured a couple of times this weekend. They are actually on the rise again, and if you've been watching the coverage, you know where he's from. His opponent is, I think, the first representative from Austria this weekend. We got Anchi Shu. Hey, how are you feeling?
Good.
Good?
Yes.
What was your tournament like so far?
I don't know. So
Very surprised about being in the top 16 now, or are you?
yes, yes, because I played this deck.
And it seems like you have a few friends here. I just heard like a name chant actually. Can we bring that up again? Do we have some fans of Austria in the house? Oh, okay. Okay, we do. All right. Nervous about playing in the feature match?
Yes, not so nervous.
Okay, okay, not after all that time. So please have a seat. Good luck to you. His opponent, Gabriel Soussi. Oh, okay. We have even more supporters from France. They even made a sign for you. That's quite nice. All right. How are you feeling about playing in the feature match?
I'm a little bit stressed, but I think it's going to be fun, and so I'm happy to be in feature match.
We have seen so many French players this weekend doing well already on Friday, making it to the top 8 playoff in the first place. We still don't have a French player going to Worlds. Are you going to be that one?
I hope so.
You hope so. All right. And are you nervous about playing in the feature match?
What?
Nervous about playing in the feature match?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's going to be okay.
I mean, it seems like you have a lot of people in your corner, so please have a seat. All right. It seems like you guys are ready. Let's roll the die to see who's going to go first. Gabriel's got a 11. And that's a bit less, so you can decide who goes first.
I will go first.
All right. Gabriel wants to go first. Stage has been set. Our commentators are ready. Let's hear it from Marcello Barberi and JJ Rogers.
Welcome to the top 16 of the European Championship. So we are in Utrecht once again for the second European Championship in this same exact venue. It is quite a good event. We have had a lot of different duels and different decks. The last one I'm honestly still recovering from. It was such an hard racing end, I would say.
Yeah, it was a very intense match between two really well-established players in the current format right now in the TCG. So it creates a whole interesting dynamic where small little interactions and small little game set things can just create such big divisive turns.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was crazy enough that both of those players were in the playoffs on Friday and they were still in top 32 today.
Yeah.
Actually, we do have even more of those players back. Adrian Dursun quite didn't make it at the playoff. He lost on top 8.
Unfortunate.
But he's also in top 16, so we might see a replay of what happened at the WCQ where they missed out on Friday. They still go regardless. So it is going to be interesting to see that. But for now, we actually chose a future match that is not about the players from the playoff.
No.
It is still going to be a very good one because we have An Quick Su on one side, who is playing.
He's actually playing Trickstar, wait for it, with Mystic Mine.
Oh yeah, and not only with Mystic Mine, he is playing a lot of old school traps. Most of all, he has Torrential Tribute, which is something that we have not seen yet. And he plays a lot of copies of the card alongside Trap Trick, so he has different options with it. I really want to see a Torrential Tribute just completely out, getting his opponent blown out. And Gabriel is actually, or Gabriel, playing Salamangreat today. Still the most represented deck at the event.
Of course.
The Balinks doesn't line up very well with Torrential, I would say. You're still able to protect everything, but maybe we will see a Torrential before a Balinks is engraved, so...
I mean, I guess before, if you get it off, if he goes into like a standard Salamangreat play of Salamangreat, Link, Special Summon, Gazelle out of hand and chain torrential after that. So maybe that can work, but it'll be a struggle. We'll see what'll happen. Depends who goes first, of course.
Absolutely gonna be quite a close match. The die roll does have some importance here, as you were telling me before the match, but I don't think it is as much as in previous matchups.
No.
Entrops even, I don't think are the main priority from these guys, but I just noticed something actually, which completely surprised me. Anne is playing Trickstar. There is no draw and lock. What's going on?
Not mean anyway. I mean, they're
he's siding him, but like you really don't see a Trickstar deck without draw and lock. So I'm very surprised that he's actually in the top 16 even. It is working out for him. So his strategy is quite unique.
I guess he's compensating for the fact that he doesn't really need the draw and lock if he activates Mystic Mind anyway. So he can kind of just sit on a Licorice or sit on a Condina, and your opponent is supposed to try to out your board or try to get over it anyway. And you can just kind of pass turn and just keep on getting damage.
I do agree with him. It's working out for him. I'm definitely want to see what's going on in this matchup. Our players are ready. Let's go to the table, guys. Okay, nice handshake here.
Yep. Bit of sportsmanlike conduct before we get a match underway.
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess the judge wanted to make sure that he drew 5 cards instead of 6 accidentally. So we do have an opening hand of double Cosmic Cyclone. I think is that a Rage, I guess? That's a Roar. Yo, that's a Roar.
Yeah, so
With an Ash.
the hands are getting drawn. We're going to put them in. It is a Roar. And the side of mining is there. But we do see the Torrential, so maybe we will be able to see that in action.
Hopefully not a turn too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like, as we were saying, Torrential, pretty good when you're going first against Salamangreat.
Yeah.
Not so much going second just because of Bailings.
Correct. Let's see if does our Trickstar player play any hand traps. Mandak, I think only Ash. Did he open up with any this turn?
He did not open any hand traps, so he will just stay and watch. But he does have double copy of Mystic Mind potentially. And Gabriel might regret discarding the Cyclone there.
Oh, so then maybe he needs to see whether or not... Yeah, what would be the other better option? I mean, he's going blind against a matchup he probably hasn't seen before, but maybe he probably had information on him during the rounds or between the rounds.
Possible. I mean, for people not being completely comfortable, I guess, with how the top cut works,
Yes.
Usually you're playing a guy that's sitting next to you in the next round. So
Of course.
There is a good chance that you actually get infos on what they are playing. So.
Yeah. So then you can kind of decide how your opening turns are going to be against that certain particular matchup. It's going to be cool. He's, of course, going to be using Sunlight Wolf, re-adding the Gazelle. And I probably see a Cosmic Cyclone set with a Roar, you know, standard stuff.
Pretty standard, and to be honest, it would have hurt him a lot more if he only had the one Cosmic. He's doing fine since he has a second copy, and that means he could actually negate both if there is nothing else that can force his negations, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So then he's just gonna... I mean... So, do we have the hand already of the Trickstar player
yes,
already?
we do have the hand, and it is looking like it might be a pretty decent one. As I was saying, relying on the Mystic Minds. But since he drew 3 trap cards, I think the 6 card gonna matter a lot.
Would you gunshot a Cosmic Cyclone on the Trickstar field spell?
You're probably forced to, honestly, because otherwise it is going to be able to negate. Oh, but this pickup is actually quite relevant. He gets the Metaverse, and it is going to depend whether he can force his opponent Ash. This could be ungame to you.
That could be. So I guess you could... But the thing is, he probably has his bases a bit covered because you can activate field spell, it gets ashed. So then you activate Mystic Mind and it gets either roared.
Yeah. The thing is, here you need to respond to the field spell, and that's what we are saying, because otherwise it is going to get banished, of course, but otherwise the light state can just clear one of your back rows.
Of course.
Now you activate Mystic Mind, it is getting negated by Roar almost every time, I want to say.
But he's contemplating it, whether he wants to do it or not. Of course, we want to do it.
And this is huge here,
This
because
is really insane.
he has the Metaverse set,
Yeah.
which Gabriel doesn't have an out to outside of the Ash Blossom. But we can see that there is a strike to negate the Ash Blossom,
Yep.
or even just a reincarnation in the draw phase.
So what you were saying before about the double Cosmic Cyclone might actually come back to bite him right now.
Absolutely. If he discarded something else for it, then he would be able to actually out the Mystic Mine. Here we could see something quite different. And
I think he probably wants to activate a Metaverse and a standby vase, no?
oh yeah.
Yep. So before he takes any other further game actions,
And
he
strike
strikes.
come down.
Oh,
Such a blowout here.
that
Crowd going
is-
crazy.
Oh, that is so... Wow.
Such a blowout here, and we're gonna see a Mystic Mine game. And to be fair, if you did not see your opponent deck, what do you even think they're playing here? It might be Sky Striker, it might be an actual like Mystic Mine lockdown strategy.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily just Trickstar.
Of course. And I mean, there are some niche versions of Orcus that actually do tend to play Mystic Mine main deck as well. So then it's hard to read. It's really hard to read.
Absolutely, and now we're gonna see Gabriel very smartly going for the Reincarnate here, because he can get the Roar set, which
Yep.
is a pretty good help here. But outside of that, he really needs to draw into an out, and looking at this deck, he only has one more copy of Cosmic and one copy of Rage.
Yep. And it's going to turn into turns of draw and go. So I don't know how this is going to be.
And the Extravagance is picked up, so it is really going unway, because Ash Blossom is not doing anything here, because Mystic Mine doesn't allow it, so...
Of course, since he already has the monster in play, no, the person who has the most monsters can't activate any monster effects, unfortunately.
But
So-
the Roar is able to, and there is not much that Gabriel has to think here about, so...
Let's see. I think we got a small glimpse of the extra deck that was banished, and it was like a Violent Chimera in there. Oh my gosh!
No way, no actual way.
Oh, that is so... That
This
is so
is
crazy. Oh.
So rough here, like he only had 2 outs in his entire deck, and he managed to top deck one of them.
He
Wow.
opened with 2, and then he just top decked the third one. What?
It's crazy. Like in his top 10 cards, there were like 3 out of his 4 outs in the entire deck, and you must feel sorry here for Anne.
Oh, does he have a response after?
I don't think so, because like all he has left now is a Torrential that
Yes.
doesn't do anything against the Bailings.
Oh, and he top deck a will. So even if it does get the Torrential off, he can still combo off anyway. So he can just recur any of the stuff that got destroyed by the Torrential.
But unfortunately, as we were saying, Bailings does have a little S in there that allows you to protect itself. So
Yeah. So then he is going to use Jaguar's effect to send back the Sunlight Wolf to extra deck. Summon it out. He wants to use the effect to add the Ash back, so prevent any future plays, even though he does have Ash in
Yeah.
hand. You kind of want to recycle anyway. It's a free card, why not?
he gets back the Rage, and this is looking almost impossible for Ran. He will flip the Reincarnation
And then he
here,
activates the Ash.
but Ash was there. Crowd going crazy for Gabriel at this point. We saw how big the French community is. Everyone was rooting for Samir just a couple of years ago. Maybe now it is Gabriel here after all.
Of course. I mean, would you... Okay, so he's going to target engrave the Gazelle and Spinny that's engrave. Yep. I mean, they should be summoned in defense, though.
Yes, you're completely right.
Yep.
And that's where our judge immediately switched them to, but again, Torrential Tribute, incredible card against the other decks of the format. Here, not so much.
Unfortunate.
Imagine if Bailings wasn't a card though.
I mean, this would have been a very easy one and done. I think they've just gone back to an open game state, just very neutral. Just everybody has to rebuild all over again. And I think in a Trickstar deck, you have a lot more live matchups in comparison to the, I guess, the Salamangreat that can kind of also combo off. So it's really hard to tell. It would have been really hard to tell there, I think.
And now we're gonna see even more plays from Gabriel. He is playing the update jammer. Yes, just as I was saying, he is playing the update jammer and Tran package, which means that he can actually go for very easy OTKs.
Oh dear, this is gonna be a whole lot of damage. So he's gonna link into. Does he play the talker?
He plays the talker. He does play the talker, so he can go, as I was saying, for this very weird OTK that we have not really seen on stream yet. So.
No, it used to be played a lot previously, but they kind of stepped away from it and played more of a control-based.
Absolutely. But here it makes sense that he just plays around the last card. Torrential is gonna be flipped.
Unfortunately.
I mean, at least here it would destroy the update jammer, so...
Yeah, it does keep him from getting OTK'd, I guess, so that's kind of relevant.
Absolutely, like, he was really hoping that his opponent would go for maybe a Botter's Word, a Botter Load if he was playing those cards, but at least the Torrential does clear the update jammer here.
Yes. So what is our play here then? So we already use our Jaguar, we already use our Spinny, but that's banished right now.
Yeah.
The Gazelle is still in hand. I mean, he still does have Falco now that's set.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you are really worried about the line because you have an Ash Blossom and a Rage, so I don't really think there is any card in An's deck that can get him out of here.
You know, that is an awesome 7th card, but unfortunately it doesn't really do anything at the moment.
Indeed.
So he's gonna pass turn. He doesn't have anything, main phase. So he's declaring his phases, of course.
I think he actually bluffed him. Yeah, I am 100% sure that An was like, battle phase? Maybe evenly matched?
Yeah.
Just trying to mind game his opponent, but it is cool to see those kind of things happening, and now I'm pretty sure Gabriel would just be easily ending this duel.
Yes. So all he needs to do is just turn that Falco into attack, or link it off into something else. Spinny's been normal summoned.
Spinny and Gazelles are there. As I was saying, An is just moments away from picking up his cards for game 2, and now we might just see the transcode actually.
Oh, so then he can special summon the update dammer back.
Absolutely here. Pretty sure An knows what's happening. As I was saying, I believe his last card in hand is an Ash Blossom, so not really gonna help him here.
No, not at all. So what do you send to grave here? I guess a Circle, just because it's an extra card that you can re-add it back if you want to make a Jaguar? Or?
Yeah, it shouldn't really matter much, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna be Gabriel game at this point.
So he's gonna use, okay. Oh, he's gonna choose the Sunlight Wolf instead. Okay, that's reasonable. So I guess you use Sunlight Wolf, target your Helio Engrave, target the Gazelle, so that becomes a 2300.
Yeah, it is a lot of damage. Update Jammer, for anyone not knowing, allows you to actually conduct an additional attack during the battle phase if you use it as material, which is a pretty unique effect, I would say, along the Link Masters we have access to.
Exactly, because he used that for the Helio, right?
Yeah. So now the handshake, okay. You usually do not see an handshake. Wow.
Okay. You usually don't see a handshake game 1, right?
Absolutely. But now Gabriel wins game 1. You can see his friends calling him with his surname, so Soussi getting screamed across the room. Now we're gonna get to the side decks, but actually something important to clarify is that for anyone watching, Oliver did not say something wrong when he said the top 4 is going to the World Championship. So at the USA, so in the NAWCQ, we saw a playoff on Friday where the top 2 players were going.
Yes.
Plus the top 4 for the main event, which is actually 6 spots.
That's a lot of spots.
Here, today, we saw 3 players going on Friday, and Oliver said we are gonna have a top 4 going to the event, which would actually make it 7 players.
That's more than the US.
It is more than the US, but something that no one, or maybe not a lot of people are thinking about, is the last year Dragon Duel champion, who is Charlie, actually aged out of Dragon Duel. So he's going to the main event, which is something great for his age, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's why we will have an extra spot for Europe, so that in the end, in Germany, we will have 7 players from the USA and Canada, and 7 players from Europe. So makes sense now.
That's so good. Well, congratulations, Charlie, on being a future Worlds competitor. Hopefully we'll see great things from you.
Indeed, indeed. Anyone is very curious to see what you're doing. We had the same thing actually happen last year with Ryan Yu, who was the winner and also advanced his category. It does happen from time to time, and I think it is a very cool interaction just because you see these very promising new players.
Of course.
Getting to actually face I would say their idols at some point.
Yeah, of course, because it comes with a whole lot of pedigree. Going to Worlds is sort of like the creme de la creme of things that you want to achieve and you want to work towards if you want to take on this game competitively. So you do it more or less for the honor, and you try go all the way for it, and that's so cool. So then we'll be discussing the sites in a bit. Like what do you think should be coming in from either of them? Because then we could take a look. There is on the Trickstar side, he has 3 Artifact Lancias, 3 Droll Lockbirds, 1 Necro Valley, 3 System Down, 3 Twin Twisters, and 2 Phantasme Dragon.
I mean, to be honest, if you are Gabriel, do you even know what your opponent was playing?
I mean, you could kind of get an inclination that he's playing like a sort of Trickstar
Absolutely.
list.
And that's why we actually are going to see Twin Twister coming down, because he's really fearing Mystic Mine. That was what happened in Game 1. Now we take a look at the ends. Again, Extravagance. We do see the Ash Blossom, but Cold Body Grave will be chained right away.
So making sure that resolves. And he can't recycle the Ash since it's banished by Call by the Grave, so he won't be able to recycle that with a Jack Jaguar if he doesn't have to break through a whole lot of interruptions from his opponent.
Now, let's see. I am pretty sure this interaction will happen with the Ash and Cold Body Grave. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. No surprises there, so...
But he does have a Cosmic Cyclone, so I mean, it does combat the Mystic Mine, but then he needs to figure out a way how to deal with the if he does get reincarnated here.
It does, but to be honest, like, Game 1 was a very weird end by An. Like, usually Trickster does not rely as heavily on Mystic Mine, so if, for example, he goes for a random Cosmic on a Trap Trick, that could be very bad.
Oh, you really don't like seeing, you know, there used to be a terminology calling blind MSTing something, so hopefully we don't have that happen here. So Call by the Grave is going to be set, he's going to be chaining, or he's going to be activating Licorice to return the
just
Candina.
To get a little more cards on field at this point, and it will be a very impressive opening field from the Trickster player.
So set 4, pass. You know, that sounds
pretty nice.
That's pretty strong.
Unless there is a Danko, but it's not really played in Salamangreat, luckily for An.
Let's see, does he want to activate anything? Standby, you know.
Probably not, just because Trap Trick allows you only to play 1 more trap during that turn. And the targets for the card in An deck are actually a lot. He has Torrential, which we've seen, Compulsory, Metaverse, Storm Duster, so a lot of different options, really. And that's why I like his deck a lot. Also, we saw in Game 1 Mine, but he's actually siding into Necro Valley as well. So,
oh, wow.
Very good card against Salamangreat. Solemn Strike is used on the Gazelle. Surprisingly on the in-hand effect.
I mean, it's more or less it forces Gabriel to kind of have something else extra. So like, okay, do you have the will? All right, fine, then okay, you have it. But if you don't have anything, then you know you need to kind of pick your pieces and pick your fights.
And here we see a Spinny being used on the Balinks.
I guess to kind of set up for next turn.
Ooh, and this is actually going to be the random Cosmic.
Oh no, the blind MST.
I actually don't see any good targets for it. It's either going to be a Cold Body Grave or a Trap Trick, so regardless of this, it is going to be a very bad Cosmic Cyclone.
Oh dear. I mean, what do you set out of the deck now? Do you just get a Metaverse? You can just get a next.
You can get a lot.
Light stage
you can
again?
get the Compulsory even, or the Torrential. I think Compulsory is probably the safest, and he's going for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So then I guess in the end phase, you just use the Compulse, bounce the Bailings back,
yeah, or
summon the Candina.
even if you just try and push for some damage. So really, really bold move here by Soussi using his Cosmic just like that. And he's going to get punished for it. Unfortunately, it didn't line up well, but now on realizes that there is only one card in his opponent's hand. If he composes here, there shouldn't be a way where his opponent is able to continue. The only one probably being a Will of Salamangreat.
Yeah, to make it unaffected by monster effects, but unfortunately it is a trap effect. So,
And he also has the Cold Body Grave there, to be fair. So this is looking like it is going to be on game almost for sure. When you give your an empty board for Trickstar, it is so easy for them to actually OTK.
Yep.
And let's remember that even here, the circle is going to deal 400 damage to Soussi. And yeah, with the terraforming being picked up, this game is 100%
it's
being,
all but over. All but over.
But now, let's see what Anne decides to go for.
I think Corbane or Lilybell.
Yes, it doesn't really matter which one you pick, because you're able to go for multiple Lycoris, which is always enough. We don't have anymore the firewall OTK for Trickstar, luckily I want to add. So.
Yep. So Metaverse, I guess, to get a next light stage, then you can add an extra card that you might need. So
yeah, which is one of the reasons why we saw even one of last year world competitors being in the top 32 with a similar deck, which is Francesco Simoncelli. He has been quite successful with Trickster just because Trap Trick is making that deck viable.
Yep.
If you have Metaverse, usually you only use it defensively.
Yeah.
But in this deck, you can use it very offensively to search for a light stage.
Yeah. And now we can see that this is just going to be a whole lot of damage now. So then he can probably just activate the second light stage, get another Licorice, special summon Corbane, and that's just going to be a whole...
Yeah, this is
I think
more than enough,
yeah.
especially because even if it wasn't, he is going to deal even more damage due to the draw phase. So this is going to be enough.
Yep. And then Licorice, and then pass turn, and then that's kind of it.
It is for sure. They're just gonna do some quick maths, I'd say. So.
Yeah. Oh,
okay, another handshake. They really like their handshakes in this match. But
you know, you got to keep it sporty. You got
I agree.
Sportsmanlike conduct is one of the most important things in your game. So you know.
But yeah, nice match. Now we're gonna have a game 3. Luckily, there are still about 20 minutes remaining, so we will not have problems with our ad rates like the last match.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more now really going to be the mind game of who's going to have to go first, who's going to have to go second.
Yeah.
There's no evenlies from either of them. It's more or less going to be a battle of Necro Valleys versus Twin Twisters, and hoping that you see the good half of your deck, plus your interruptions, plus your good engine cards, and it's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. And I think Soussi learned the lesson with the random Cosmic. I really doubt that we're going to see a similar thing in Game 3.
Yeah.
And honestly, when he goes first, he has access to Rage, plus Twister, Cosmic, a lot of end phase disruption. So it is going to be a close one, and I'm very curious to see who's going to take it and advance to the top 8, where...
Oh, there's going to be a chance to get into top 4 too.
Oh my, and for these guys, I can tell you, if any one of these guys is going to advance, it is going to be the most important match of their lives by far. So.
Exactly. Okay, so he is going to... Like, which version of shuffling are you more partial to, actually?
Of shuffling, you mean?
Yeah, shuffling.
I mean, I'm usually just for the regular power shuffle. But at Worlds, I had to do a lot of pile shuffling. You are forced to do shuffle in a certain way, which is fair, because there are some differences from just OCG and TCG from how you're used to do it.
Okay.
Anyway, our hands are being picked up, so...
Fusion of Fire, huh? I mean, I guess you can do that if they super poly your stuff. You kind of fuse whatever moss is left over from the things that they super poly. But that seems to be... I don't know. Would you have kept that in?
I mean, he probably didn't have much to side, but it is definitely something that you shouldn't keep in this matchup, as you were saying. And this hand is looking okayish. It is pretty decent.
A lot of monsters, though.
Too many monsters, I would say. Especially the double circle is something that you really don't want to see. And that's why I think he's going to be a little more greedy with the Foxy summon, so that he's hoping to get a trap card here. Let's see if he does. Will...
It's not bad.
He does not get a trap card, but Will is a pretty good pickup. Unfortunately, Soussi only rank 4 is the Dweller.
Oh, no Tornado Dragon.
Yeah, because we have seen he's playing the update jammer combo, so his pace was definitely a lot tighter. So
Of course. Since he doesn't play the standard
yeah,
Super Poly in the side, I think. I don't think I saw any. Did you see any?
no, I did not see any. And here I'm very interested. What do you think he's gonna send with Gazelle? Because he has the option to go for Roar or but Ash Blossom is there, and this is huge from Han.
Oh,
There is nothing else in Gabriel and that's really, really good here.
no, it isn't. Oh, this is gonna be so unfortunate then. Okay, so then he goes into Gazelle.
This Ash Blossom is actually quite ridiculous, and look at the rest of his hand. It is quite some powerful Trickster cards, so
Oh, wow. Light Stage, Candina, Licorice, and a Reincarnation.
it can push so much damage.
Holy moly. Okay, there's... I don't know. What do you even want to do here? Do you just relink and have a Balings saved up in your grave and at least try to...
It is very tough here, because you do have the extra summon from the Fusion of Fire if we wish, but it is not really taking you there. So I think if An picks up something good here, he might be in a really good spot. Like, honestly, like, his hand is looking already quite good. He can push a lot of damage, so...
Yeah, I think this could be a thing. So I guess, okay, so right now he's shorthanding it. Sort of saying, okay, I would like to use, Wolf, Jaguar, send back. But I'm short-handing it, but I think the judge just kind of wanted him to do all of the game actions correctly.
Of course, it makes sense. You really don't want to risk getting even just a warning at such a high-stake match. He can now get back the circle from grave if he wants to, so...
Okay, so he's going to special summon 2 out. What do you make here? What other things do you even have access to that can protect your stuff?
Okay, nothing special, I think, but he just wanted to get back the will instead, which does kind of make sense.
True.
And here, it is not that impressive of an opening. I mean, against other decks of the format, maybe, but Trickster do struggle with dealing with a lot of monsters, to be fair.
That's true. I mean, it saves you from a whole lot of damage, but would a Phoenix be okay here to kind of, like, since it doesn't get destroyed by battle and stuff, so wouldn't that have been a sort of an okay option?
Maybe it is an okay option, and he didn't think it was the case here, and maybe, as you're saying, he will get punished for it. He also has the option at some point to go for Ida and summon back the Ash, so we'll see what he decides to do. Here, do you think he's used the Light Sage on the back row? I would say so, but maybe...
I think he did, but he didn't. There was no real reason for him to chain anything, so he's going to go for the Reincarnation, so now he has 2 in his hand now.
He's going to just try and push a lot of damage here. Maybe it will actually work. The compulsory, it's usually a lot better, because the ending fields for Salamangreat is never this.
No, not really, no.
They usually have just the Stalio or the Wolf or both, and if you can spin back one of them, it's good enough.
Yeah.
When they have this many monsters, compulsory is a lot worse.
So then you Corbin, do you want to link here so then you can kind of make a Phoenix target?
You have a lot of options, actually, and I do not mind the Phoenix just because you can discard one of the reincarnations, but now it summons a new Trickster card, which is the Trickster Crimson Heart, something no one has seen yet, I believe.
Okay.
So as you can read the card here, it is one of those cards that really deals a lot of damage. So
let's see. Each time Trickstar's monsters is normal summon or special summon to the zone this card point to, you gain 200 life points. You can discard a Trickstar card and...
both players draw 1 card. But if your life points was at least 2,000 liar, then you actually get to draw 2 cards instead, which is quite a unique effect, I would say. It is something a little gimmicky. I think usually you probably would have saw instead a Nightmare Phoenix discarding a Reincarnation, but here...
I guess it fulfills the sort of the same purpose, and you get a Trickstar name, I guess, if you want to go into more Trickstar-based links. So he's going to discard a card, and both of them draw a card. And now he has the Reincarnation, so then he can special summon the Corbin back again, or the Candina. And it gives him a bit more looks into his deck.
Yeah. So he's going to discard one of the Reincarnation, he's going to allow both to draw, which means actually that Gabriel can pick up an end trap though. So kind of a
risky move,
double-edged sword, yeah.
Because I think he could have potentially done the same thing. So, say for example, there was nothing really in Gabriel's grave, right? So he could have summoned Phoenix pointing towards the Sunlight Wolf.
Yeah.
So he could have drawn a card, target a back row, try to get rid of something, and draw a card for free. So it would have been one-sided.
I do agree that it would have been better here, and as you can see, there is not much going on at this point. The Twin Twister is definitely not what he wanted to see. Gabriel back row at this point is a circle, which is not very relevant when you have that many monsters. So the time is also pretty wide, I'd say. We have about 13 minutes, so
I think there's enough time to at least see the completion of this match anyway. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
which though is one of the reasons why Trickstar is very successful actually. Just like Sky Striker, it is a deck that can function very well, and when you have these long grind games, you get into time and you have a lot of win conditions. We saw it especially last year, where you could see these Goki players making a huge board, extra link, and then
with Firewall
just,
Dragon and stuff.
and just lose to a Licorice Pass, which is both entertaining and kind of sad, to be honest. So, now we're gonna see the extent of unplay. He can actually discard the reincarnation with Twister, and that way he gets to summon another monster from his graveyard if he wants to.
So I guess he'll target the Corbin, and this is kind of cool, or knee trick anyway. It's sort of, it's also in your hand as a hand trap, and it's still in the battle phase, so you can still clear a bit more of his board.
Absolutely.
Would you have? No, this is actually pretty okay here. You can use Fox's effect, discard a dead.
Yeah, and the
card.
thing is, as you can see here, the Corobane actually has two relevant effects. It is kind of like unhonest for the archetype.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the special summoning part, but you can actually discard it when one of your Trickster monsters battles, and it gives it a huge attack boost, which is quite good in the spot.
So I guess, would you shotgun in the standby phase reincarnations?
We have to see still what Soussi decides to do during the end phase. But
I mean, I guess it puts you in a situation you might want to activate the circle just to get the value off of it. But then, since you saw one of the reincarnations being activated, you wouldn't guess that he has a second one.
You do know that any card you're getting here will cost you 400 life points.
Yes.
And also, as you're saying, will most likely be banished as well. So it is going to be a tough decision, and this foul is actually one of the better cards in the matchup.
Oh, there, and it might end up actually getting banished along with the will.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will see a reincarnation here from Man, so...
It does allow him to refresh his hand and give him a chance to draw into his side deck cards. So it's not necessarily over. It's just going to be very interesting to see how Gabriel's going to pull out.
But Twister is picked up.
That is so
huge
good.
Draw from Soussi.
That is so good right now.
Oh yeah, such a good pickup here. It will actually be a blowout, because as I'm going to show you guys, the set cards at the moment are Twin Twister, Reincarnation, and Compulse. So the foul is also able to force a few of the negations. It is going to be a very close match in the end, but it is looking like Gabriel is in a better spot at the moment, not going to lie. So he does use the foul, which is... a very good addition to the deck. You use it both as an extender and as a way to clear the back rows. This way, you lock one of them, and with Twist Twister, you deal with the other two. So,
question: would you, in this scenario, have set the will before you use foul effect?
you might have, but the crowd is going crazy now, so I just have to follow them. Because, again, we have a lot of French players watching this game and supporting their friends.
Yeah.
You're definitely right that he should have, but maybe he's playing around Heavy Storm Duster as well. So
You're right. That could also be a thing. Yeah.
So Compulse is getting chained here. Gonna send back the Stalio, which means that The draws are actually going to be quite relevant here for Soussi. Let's see what he picks up.
Because even with that hand, he can still play his whole entire field right now, right?
Yes, Imperial Order and Cosmic are picked up.
That is so good.
Pretty good, pretty good, just in case a Mystic Mine comes down later on. He is now going to be forced to actually use some of his graveyard Salamangreat effects. He was really hoping for a different outcome out of these draws, but there were also worse options, to be fair.
Yeah. Yes, they were. I guess he could go Spinny into Wolf, Jaguar, and then send Wolf back.
Yeah, the thing is, as you can see, he did discard the Will, which was a very heads-up play, because now he can go for a Wolf and actually get back the Will, and actually summon back his... yeah, you can summon back everything from graveyard and push more, so discarding the Will was very smart on Soussi's side.
Oh, this is so good.
This is gonna be so close, but it is looking like Gabriel has it in his pocket almost. You can feel the tension though. This is actually getting closer than I thought it would be, so.
Okay, so he's going to be linking off into a Wolf again.
Yeah, Wolf is coming down.
Oh, but then there's a reincarnation in Grave, so it isn't like, okay, it isn't necessarily over.
No, it is not over, but surely the draws from Soussi are gonna be relevant. So, and also he shouldn't forget that the Corobane is in his opponent's hand. So if he forgets about Corobane and tries to attack over one of his monsters,
Yes.
he could get completely blown out here.
So what would you want to re-add here? Would you want to re-add the Fusion of Fire so then you can fuse with Foul and the Devil?
You could actually try and go for that, but it seems like he picked up the Circle. Depending what he banished, we can't quite see the banished cards. He could continue his combos through a Gazelle and plays. I think he plays much better around the Corobane in hand. So.
Oh, true.
Because as you can see on screen right now, it basically boosts your Trickstar monster by its original attack. So even make the Crimson Art quite big at the moment.
The thing is, he has 2 targets for his Corobane though, so that's going to be a bit hard to push through that and a reincarnation that's engraved. So he needs to calculate this exactly before he tries to go off.
Okay, so now he uses it to make Balinx and reveals Gazelle.
It's going to send to Griv. I guess you can send a Rage here if you don't feel that you can actually push that much now. Or you can just get the Roar to kind of stop him from going off next turn anyway. Because he does have a lot. So I think, would you take the Rage over here just to clear more? Or would you say Roar, if you get a chance to clear, you want to stop the first negation of the activation of the thing?
Something you can do is also maybe set the Falco so you get back like a Fusion of Fire or a Will.
Yeah.
He has quite a few combos. Yes, I think like he is what he's doing. So gonna send the Falco. Pretty good idea here. So let's see what he wants to make. As a reminder, he is playing the Update Jammer combo as well, so he could try and push a lot of damage. But setting the Will makes a lot of sense. He's gonna be able to use either of those effects. So just gonna depend on whether he feels like the first or the second one is more relevant.
Yep, the first effect allows you to do a Monster Reborn type effect.
Yep.
And the second one targets one that you already reincarnation linked, and you summon amount of Salamangreat monsters in defense up to the link rating.
Yeah, it's kind of like a soul charge for the archetype, I want to say. Pretty good play here. Let's see if he can push enough damage. Again, as a reminder, the only thing you gotta pay attention to is the Reincarnation Engrave and the Corobane in hand. I would be very surprised if he forgot about it, but now we're actually getting close and closer to time. So there are only about 5 minutes left. So.
And he's down by 3,200 lives.
Yeah.
That is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, he can kind of potentially get over this, right?
You definitely can. You have all the tools. I'm not sure if you do have the time. So
yes.
Let's see if this is gonna be enough for him. He's gonna link those away for a Sunlight Wolf.
Okay, that's going to be his third one. Then link that.
Is he going for the update jammer? It seems like he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Update jammer comes down. He gets a card back with the Sunlight Wolf at this point.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't used Foxy yet, so I guess he can discard the Foxy, but I think he's going to go for the Talker, maybe?
I would absolutely say so. He did not use the Stalio this turn, just because Compulsory was used on it, so he is not locked under fire effects, but there is a chance he is just forgetting about the Corobane, which will be devastating, actually. Do you think he knows about the second effect? It is something that doesn't really come up in the Orcus matchup, I would say.
No, it doesn't. Huh.
And he loses even 400 additional because of the Gazelle being back. So
this is going to be down to the wire. Let's see.
honestly, we were saying, okay, there are 20 minutes walking into game 3. This is gonna be fine.
It's gonna be a walkthrough.
This is not gonna go to timeout. Oh boy, we were wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Time might actually become a factor here, and they are gonna be, oh man.
So he's using the Foxy at this point, discarding the Gazelle. He's gonna be able to destroy the light stage with it.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you can make Heat Leo. I don't know. You can make Heat Leo with the update jammer and Foxy.
Did he not destroy the light stage here?
I guess he didn't want to. So he's
But
gonna
now
declare
I
attack.
think we might see the Corobane come down.
That's gonna be double its current attack points.
Yes, it doubles its original attack. Of course, now Anne is just asking explanations about how this combo works.
Yeah.
It is not something that everyone is familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Transcode does boost the Link monsters by 500, I believe.
Yep.
But then you're really gonna get completely blown out here by the Corobane, I believe. Like, how do you play around that?
I guess you force him to deal with it now, but then don't know. Because right now the update jammer is higher attack points, right?
Yeah.
Because it
Which
also has the 500 boost.
Yes. They're giving to him a translation. Most likely the card is in French.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want to mess this up. And as you can see, the timer froze. We're not going to waste time on this. So they're going to get a fair match. And 3 minutes are still available to them. So it is going to be very close at this point.
Yeah, I can see this going anyway. If there's any small missequencing, misinterpretation of the cards or the game state, it can swing anybody's way.
Yes, also there is a really relevant part of the update jammer that Anne might not know about. So when the card is summoned, I'm gonna show everyone here. It also negates the effects in the battle phase, which is very relevant.
That is so good. So he can't even activate the Corobane that's in hand.
So let's see if he actually figures out the line.
Oh, because he let the Code Talker through. He didn't use the Corobane on that. I guess he wanted to use the Corobane on the attack of the jammer, but he didn't read the...
Oh, this is actually gonna be super close. I think it could have been any one game, but now...
And he still has the Foxy attack. He still has the Foxy attack, so he can... Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Yeah, our judge actually gave them a couple minutes of extra time just because they stopped multiple times. And now he's actually going to take this, and it is going to be tough to fight back. So quite a back and forth one. We're still seeing a lot of action, a lot of very close games in this top 16 match.
Yep. And then that comes down to 23, right?
Yeah, a lot of attacks. The Foxy can even attack here. Are we going to see a reincarnation? We are. So the reincarnation brings back the Crimson Heart once more on the field, and now he is going to be able to use his effector in the last turn. It is going to be so close once more. I don't know how much I can handle this.
Oh man, I think he does need to link away the Foxy into something, or he's going to attack just to...
Okay,
Oh.
so the second effect of Sanctuary is gonna come in here.
Oh, he's gonna
Wow.
target his Code Talker
Yeah.
and gain life points equal to the attack. Oh, that is so good.
Such an heads-up play here from Soussi. Wow. So the second effect usually does not come up. As you can see here, what he can do is pay 1,000 life points, then target one of your links and make its attack 0. And if you do, gain life points equal to its original attack. So nice, nice. Well done. It is not by chance that these players are competing here. And let's see. Let's remember, Imperial Order and Cosmic are still face down. Are we gonna see an Imperial Order here?
Yeah.
We are. Imperial Order is flipped. Light stage was picked up by Anne, which is now completely shut down. We're gonna see the effect of Crimson Art. He has the chance to draw a card. He really needs a good one. Can he get anything good?
And that's Mystic Mine, but that's not enough. He can't push enough damage through that.
I think it might have picked up another Corobane here. Wow.
And a Mystic Mine, but
Mystic Mine doesn't do anything at this point.
No. So he's gonna special summon. He's kind of nervous right now. It's coming down to the wire. He's gonna make a... Okay.
Okay, Unicorn is there. But now he's telling him...
Oh, you can't target my stuff.
Oh my God, absolutely incredible here. He cannot target his card.
Oh no!
What is going on here? This is madness. Wow, such a close match. It's gonna be over. I am pretty sure Soussi just has this in his pockets.
Yep.
He's gonna declare attacks. And we're gonna see an handshake quite soon from Anne. It does!
And that is the match. Game, set, match.
Wow, his friends are going crazy. You can see the crowd. Hear this.
We hear the chants.
Oh my God. What a match. Let's go back to us for the post-match discussion.
I don't even know what to tell you. I don't.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. As I said, I don't know how much I can handle this. Come on, guys. I'm supposed to be just commentating some Yu-Gi-Oh, some card games. What is this madness? Like, it is 2 rounds in a row that we are seeing absolute madness plays and timeout. Like, oh, I don't know. I'm just speechless at this point.
I understand the same sentiment. It's sort of like you get the feeling of just being there, just playing the match, and just feeling the intensity, the heat on your back, on your neck. It's just, oh, wow. It's so good.
It is such a good match. You can still hear his friends actually cheering him. And oh my God, I'm very excited to talk about this. We saw an incredible match. Both players, kudos to them, to be honest.
Of course.
They gave us a very good show.
Of course.
One of them is gonna be out. The other one, being Soussi, is moving and representing France in the top 8. Well, he will try his best to be our main representative from France. We saw 2 players, the playoff on Friday from France, actually not making it in the end. Soussi wants to take Samir's place. He has very good chance to do so. But I have to tell you guys something. We're getting new results from the top 16 matches. The next one is gonna be an unbelievable one. We got Adrian Durson against Jake Quincy. Both players from the playoff. Both players having a chance on Friday, missing it. One of them is still going into the World Championship regardless. I can't be more excited than that, but our friends and the friends from Soussi are there. Let's go to him and Oliver for the interview.
Welcome back on the main event stage. I have to say we're having trouble hearing each other here because the French players are just so animated and so happy for one of their own to make it to the top 8. Congratulations, Gabriel. Well done. What a match. How are you feeling right now?
I'm so happy because I won it, and thank you to everyone for supporting me.
You are now joining Samir Bashar in the top 8. We have 2 French players that can still go to the World Championship. How excited are you about that?
I just want a French player to be in the world. It can be me or Samir, I don't care.
Yeah. Can you really believe that you're now in the top 8, or has it not settled in now?
Honestly, I think I can believe it right now, but maybe later.
Yeah, they are helping. These guys are helping. They are definitely giving you a lot of positive credit and reinforcement. And I think with them in your corner, there's a very good chance that you're also going to make it to the top 4. Guys, we are the last match that is still playing. All the other top 16 matches have concluded. You just heard it. We already know our feature match for the next round, which is crazy. So with that, we're going to take a very short break, enter the deck list. Then we're going to be back on the main event stage. The top 8 written profiles are also being conducted at this very moment. You can find those and a lot of other cool articles in the written coverage. So head on over there. In the meantime, check it out. Have a good time. Then come back and we're going to see Adrian Dursun versus Jay Quincy. I don't know. This is